You know, on all these videos I do that you're watching, they're all about being a better you every day. They're about waking up and being a better you and not just existing in life, you know, or getting comfortable with mediocrity. You know, it's about being your best no matter what you're doing. You're racing, building cars, your marriages, your relationships, whatever it is. And if you don't have a vision and you don't have a goal and you don't set, if you don't set some values to yourself and some standards to yourself, you're just going to be mediocre and it ain't going to happen. Just not going to happen. Huh? And you talk a lot. You always talk. Oh, I love this guy. Okay, it's recording.
This is R.C. Scott of the Roman Chariot Car Club.
All right, it's Sunday. Man, it's kind of turned out to be a beautiful day, huh?
Yes.
I'm down here with Matt Murray of Murray's Customs. To me, this is one of the coolest places around. I mean, it's just full of old hot rods, 50 Mercs, Camaros, Chargers, you name it. Old signs, old fuel pumps. To me, Matt Murray is one of the best car builders in the country, metal fabricators. He's awesome. And I always tend to come down here because, I don't know, you and I, we've known each other for a lot of years and we've always philosophized about life, huh?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
You know, how come you're not drinking my Michelob Ultra? You never drink my Michelob Ultra. You make me drink these PBRs.
That's a manly beer.
What was it you were telling me about Michelob Ultras does to you? All right, I'm down here with Matt Murray at Murray's Customs. One of the coolest shops around in my book. I mean, old hot rods. You're kind of a 50s Merc guy, ain't you?
I am.
You got a shitload of them.
I do.
And not to mention Mercs, he's got Chargers, Camaros, old hot rods. This car behind us he's chopping the top on. But Matt's one of those guys I've known forever. We've always liked cars. We've always taught car culture. Motorcycles, choppers, old Harleys. But more than that, you and I have always just philosophized about life, huh?
We have.
And it's Sunday, so I got a PBR. It's Sunday afternoon, we got the old tunes playing, but man, I got Michelob Ultra, but you'll never drink one of those.
Yeah. That's like taking an estrogen pill today.
You know, dude, when I started drinking Michelob Ultra, I struggled with it too, because I've always seen girls drink that stuff. And when I broke those out, you looked at me like I was a freaking alien.
After I drank, I thought my milk was coming in.
Well, did your wife ever have one of those breast pumps?
Yeah. When we had kids, she had a breast pump. I thought I was gonna have to use it.
Well, thank God for the PBR, but in all seriousness, you know what? You know, you gotta have fun in life and you gotta laugh and not take your shit so serious. But with that said, I mean, life can be a struggle too. And one of the things with Matt I always talk about is how, man, he gets these cars in here from all over the country, doesn't matter where they're from. And you do full restorations and do all the metal fabrication because you cannot buy panels and stuff. You have to actually shape metal yourself.
Yep.
And with that said, Matt, you know, you and I have also talked about believing in ourselves, you know, having the faith and knowing you're able to do it. How would you be if one of these cars showed up and you had to chop the top and you didn't believe in yourself?
You'd fail.
Big time.
Oh, big time. You'd ruin a car.
And you know, Matt,
for sure,
you always told me that with hot rods, you have to have a vision, right? When one of these cars comes in, you have to have a vision and have a little foresight, right?
Mm-hmm. You have to have a lot of foresight when you're building the car because everything you do affects something else. You know, you start making pieces, chopping a top or whatever, you got to have enough foresight to think about all the things that are going to be affected by chopping this top. You know, you have glass to cut down, you have inner garnish moldings to cut down, you have weather strip to cut down, there's just so much that changes. So,
and building one of these hot rods, I mean, it can be hell too, right? I mean, you got customers calling, you got the phones ringing, money can be tight. It can be a struggle. It can be hell, right? But you gotta push through that.
The struggle is real. The struggle is real. It's very tough having a business and dealing with life in general. On top of business, you have customers, you have employees, you have deadlines, you have financial struggles, you name it.
And you've always told me, Matt, that your vision is a lot like a relationship or a lot like a marriage or anything else. It's going to be tough, right? You're going to get in this car and you're going to experience some shit, and it's going to be really tough. But if you don't have some sort of a vision, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. And you and I have also talked about, I asked you one time about having a partnership, and you said, man, you've been there with your workers, and it's tough because you have a vision for what you want to put it in this car, and that other person has to have that same vision.
They do, and they have to have the same end goal that you have, and everybody has to be on the same page, because if somebody's not doing their job and cut corners to try to get it done faster or whatever, that just affects everything in the end. The quality of the job, the longevity of the job, the customer's happiness with the job.
And if who you're working with doesn't have that same vision, I mean, failure could be inevitable.
Absolutely.
I like what you said there, Matt, about you got to be on the same page. I mean, it doesn't mean that your worker or your partner you're working with has to be just like you, has to do things just like you, but you got to be on the same page.
Right. And communication is very important, just like in a marriage. I mean, communication is a big part of any relationship. And
you don't have it, you're in trouble.
Exactly. And sometimes it's tough. That's a struggle, communicating. Whether it's an employee or a partner or a wife or a customer, it's very, very hard to keep communication open sometimes. At least for me, I just kind of hold things in and do what I need to do.
And one of the things, these videos that I do, they're always about becoming a better version of yourself, right? We all have struggles. We all have a past. We all have a story. But these videos aren't about perfection and being perfect all the time and setting ourselves up for failure because we want perfection. But it's about having a vision and having the value system that creates that foundational fabric that allows you to push through things. And with my videos, I try to relate it to racing, to action sports, to relationships, marriage, building cars. And so one of the things I like to do, like even with Matt building cars here, I try to relate real life things. We try to simplify things, huh?
Yep.
And that's why we tend to philosophize about a car, because you can simplify it down, but you can also relate life like that. And really, I don't know, you and I always talk about, believing in yourself, believing you can do it. If you don't understand something, learn how to do it or ask questions, right?
Every day's a school day.
Every day's a school day. I like that. And that's why I talk to Matt. That's why we visit. Because, and you've probably seen this with your workers, right? Instead of asking, they keep making the same mistakes over and over.
Yep.
And having the same results.
I was always told a stupid question is better than a stupid mistake.
That's awesome. Man, these PPLers are good.
They are good.
We hope you're having an awesome Sunday, but we hope these videos, they reach you. Matt's a car dude. He's in the custom culture. You know, here you got this car that somebody's dependent on you, but they're dependent on you because they believe in you. But if you didn't believe in yourself, you could have never got that car done.
Nope. There's a lot of work. A lot of work. Deadlines were tight.
Was there times you felt like giving up?
Yeah, a lot.
When it got tough?
Yep. But it's too easy to quit. That's the easy road. You know, you don't get anywhere in life by quitting. So
that's awesome. You know, and I don't care whether you're a racer out there or it's a relationship or whatever, you know, quitting's easy. But, you know, you were talking about your workers. If you don't have the same vision, I mean, shit goes south quick. Because you do believe in yourself. You believe what you're capable of. You know what you want. And if somebody else doesn't have that vision, you're not gonna, things aren't gonna go well.
Nope.
And I think life's like that. I mean, we're all different. We're all unique. But guys, without you said it earlier, without being on that same page, it can be tough.
It can.
And I couldn't imagine building one of these cars and not being on the same page with somebody helping you build it. Because I want you to think about something here with this video. We're talking about hot rods. When this hot rod comes in, he's building it, just like a relationship. Or maybe you want to be successful racing, or whatever your action sport is. When this car comes in, he's gonna build it. In order for him to build it, he has to believe in himself. He has to believe in who he is. He has to have a code about himself, understand who he is, and know that he can do it, and make sure his thought life or his thoughts support that belief. Because if his thoughts are, you know, I'm not good enough to do this, his belief system will crumble. Because your belief system is supported by your thought life. So when he walks in this door, I guarantee Matt Murray of Murray's Customs, he looks at one of these cars and he knows he can do it. So he has the thoughts and the thoughts that support that belief system. If he didn't have it, it's going to crumble. If he didn't believe in himself, it's going to crumble. And nobody can do it but him. I mean, you run this business yourself, and if you don't do it, nobody else will.
Exactly.
And we started that block of music.
So I kind of look at life like that.
Got a couple of nice strollers in there. We sure did.
I do too.
Circling
And talk a little bit about the foresight you have about learning from your mistakes, learning from your failures.
It's time to shine the spotlight on.
That your failures, you told me once that your failures are great learning lessons. But if you don't have foresight, you're going to crash and burn and wonder why you keep having mistakes.
Well, it's just like when you're building the car. You know, whether it's a hot rod or a custom, whatever, you have to have the foresight in building that car. You know, whatever you do, metal work affects things when it comes to body work. Those things affect stuff when it comes to paint work. It affects things when it comes to mechanical glass, you know, everything. It's just like a big puzzle, you know. One piece has to fit right for the next piece to fit and get the end product that everybody wants.
And you always said, you know what, if I do something wrong here, it's going to affect something down the line.
Yep, so you have to think about everything, you know. What you're doing here, you know, cutting this and the way the glass is going to fit, or the inside garnish molding is going to fit, or the rear package tray is going to fit. You know, the way you do this metal work here has to be done right and prepped right. If you have to do some body work there, because if you don't, then down the road it cracks out. You're redoing it. for free.
And Matt, how would you relate all of what you said about having foresight to your life? I mean, your life that you live. I mean, you always say life's too short. You know, be happy. You know, live happy. How do you relate that foresight? And what you do now will affect your future, whether it's in your relationship or your life. You got 2 beautiful kids. How do you relate that to your life? Because you know, just like a hot rod, you're gonna run into troubles.
Yeah, when you have a family, and you know, every family has struggles. When you're a business owner and you're trying to support that family, there's struggles there. You know, making enough money to support your family, and you know, keep the lights on, keep the refrigerator with food in it, keep vehicles on the road to take the kids to all their activities. You know, being a good parent and a teacher to teach right and wrong to your kids, so that they can grow up and hopefully pass good things on to their kids when they become parents.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know what Matt's talking about, you know, I hope that you're watching this video and you're thinking about, you know, we're talking about a hot rod. We're talking about a car that walks in, no different than anything. You're racing, I said that before, your relationship, you want to build something awesome. If he wants to build this awesome, what is this behind us, a Ford?
49 Ford.
49 Ford, he's chopping the top on it. If he wants to build something awesome, it's going to start with him believing in himself. But if he wants to build something awesome, so he's going to have a vision. And he's going to make sure that his actions, his thought life, his belief system is going to support that vision. So I hope when you watch this video, you realize that if you, without a vision, you're going to be lost, and you're not going to take the steps to find that vision. And Matt, you've always told me about how many employees you have that just didn't work out because they didn't have that vision.
Yep. They don't have the drive. They don't have work ethic. All that stuff, that all the things that, you know, their parents needed to show them, you know, respect, responsibility, you know, work ethics, you know, show up on time, do what you need to do, don't talk back, don't mouth off, don't get butt hurt and walk out because you had to do something you didn't want to do, all that kind of stuff.
And Matt, if they walk in here and don't have that vision, they're not going to last long.
No. And that's the problem with young people these days. They don't have any of that. They don't possess those things. They think they're entitled to everything. You know, they walk in and think they're going to get paid top dollar, and they're not going to have to hardly work. You know.
And you're at that age. You told me you're at that age where you don't have time for that. Life's too short. You want to build something awesome, and you just don't have time for that anymore.
No.
You either want it or you don't.
Yep. Well, in a business like this, time is money. So I don't have time to babysit, hold hands, and you know, watch everything what everybody's doing all the time. I need somebody that's going to be able to come in here, have confidence in themselves, have common sense, and be able to do some stuff. And yeah, I'll teach them what they need to know if they don't know it, but they need to have
that initiative,
the initiative to do it,
the want to do it,
the drive, have some common sense. And a lot of young people don't have those things these days. And it's not just in a body shop or anything. It's in a lot of
areas.
Yeah. You know, it don't matter if it's a fast food restaurant or a grocery store or a mechanic shop or a grain elevator. It don't matter. just the people don't want to work anymore.
And don't you almost feel like that sometimes we get really comfortable with just being mediocre, and we actually don't set standards for ourselves. Like we struggle with knowing who we are. We lack the belief system in ourselves. So how can we set a high standard for ourselves and create that vision and expect to build something awesome? I mean, it just don't happen,
It don't
right?
happen. It won't happen. Nope.
And whether it's building a car, a relationship, racing, whatever it is, you're just never going to reach your true potential.
Nope.
And it all comes down to you. I mean, nobody can make you have that belief system. Nobody can instill. They can influence you, but nobody can do it but you.
Right.
And that goes for me, goes for anybody. My son's running around here somewhere. He's probably in your paint booth. I hope you don't have your paint gun spraying something.
No, they're put up.
But you know, I even like bringing him down here because he gets to see a lot of cool stuff. He asks a lot of questions. He likes cars, and he's hanging out in a cool place. So, but Matt, I'll tell you what, man, I appreciate your time. Matt Murray of Murray's Kustoms. We hope the message you hear from this video is to believe in yourself. You are enough. Have a vision for yourself, and ask yourself, are your thoughts supporting your belief system? Okay, who do you want to be in your life? If you don't know who you are, ask yourself who you don't want to be, and that'll help you discover who you want to be. And then when you know who you want to be, it's not about comparing yourself. I want to be like Matt, but not from a sense of I'll never rock that hair, man. Look at that hair. That hair is cool. It's not that I want to be Matt, but I want to rock his cool in the sense of having that belief system. So it's not about I want to be like him, think like him, dress like him, do everything like him. That's not the comparison I'm talking about. I'm talking about the belief system he has. So
A person can do anything they want to do, as long as they believe in themselves and have confidence. And I've had a lot of employees, and they've all given me crap. You know, I wasn't born being able to do everything like you.
right.
You don't have to work hard to be able to do stuff, and it's not that I haven't had to work hard. I just believe in myself, and anything I want to do, I just have the confidence in myself that I can do it, and I do it.
You make a decision and you do it.
Yeah, and it's like that with anything. Building a car, sports. You know, I tell my son that all the time. In football, wrestling, whatever he's doing, you know, you gotta have the confidence in yourself to go out there and do what needs done. You want to be good. It starts in here and up here. So,
And you're hearing this from a car guy. You know, I know a lot of the viewers are watching this are in action sports, racing, motocross, downhill, BMX, snowboarding. It all applies. It applies to every area of your life. If you want to quit having the same results you're getting, don't think the same thinking or your limiting belief system is going to give you different results, because it's not. You're going to fail every time. You know, you're going to have to reinvent yourself and get uncomfortable, get outside of your box, and that's going to be uncomfortable. When a worker comes in here to work with Matt and build some of the coolest cars around, he's going to be uncomfortable with learning these new techniques that's going to make him better. But once he gets through that uncomfortable period, he's going to be comfortable, and the possibilities are endless.
endless. Yep, sky's the limit.
So challenge yourself, believe in yourself. You are enough. You know, don't let fear stop you, but also believe in yourself enough that you know, your self-love, your belief system in yourself, your confidence in yourself is going to say, no, I'm not gonna do certain things anymore, because I do know who I am, and this is my vision. I do have high standards, and I know what I want, and you know,
It's just like the shop for me. You know, I've been down here for 15 years on my own, And if I'd listened to everybody, you know, tell me, oh, don't do that, you'll never be successful, you know, you're not gonna make it, blah, blah, blah.
You would have folded up.
Oh yeah, that just lit the fire under me to, you know, be successful, you know.
What he said right there was really cool. Do not let the opinions and judgments of others stop you and instill that crippling fear in you that keep you from chasing your dream. Let it be fuel for you. If you go back and watch my videos, I always say let your failures, let your story, let your struggles, your fears be fuel for you. And that's just what Matt said. Everybody that walked in the door and said this is never going to work, you can't do this, it became fuel for him. It fueled him to say, no, I can do this because I'm in control of my life. I'm the architect of my life, and nobody's going to stop me but myself. And you know, we can do that with anything.
Anything, you know. Everyday life struggles, same thing, you know. You know, there was a lot of times I wanted to turn the lights off and walk out that door and never come back.
Because times are hard.
A lot of tough times, you know, but you just gotta push through them. And it's like that with anything in life, you know, whether it's a business or marriage, raising kids, it don't matter. It's all the same.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you like these videos. Share them, tag a friend, comment on them. Be sure to check out Murray's Kustoms on Instagram as well as Facebook, and it's Murray's Kustoms with a K. He does some awesome work. Great friend of mine. We appreciate you guys watching. We hope these videos reach you and they inspire you, get you to think a little bit different. And thanks for following us. And I got to go find my son somewhere. He's probably about ready to go.
Probably.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.